Hi Flosstube, happy Wednesday. Today is February 17th. I'm Helen D. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my channel. I didn't know if I was going to get a video in this week. I try and do them every 2 weeks, so I was due. But this is school vacation week, so I didn't know what was going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in the next half hour, so we'll just see. We haven't been up to much. My husband is working. He's upstairs. My son is upstairs. He's playing his video game right now. We haven't done much. We had some icy weather. Nothing like Texas. That's been just crazy to see. So we just had a little. We're expecting some more weather later this week. February is usually pretty active for us weather-wise. So yeah, we've been reading, stitching, playing Dungeons and Dragons, and listening to music. My son loves music, but he doesn't like today's music. He likes the music of yesteryear. So we were on a disco kick for a long time. I can hear him singing now. Now he's on classic hits from the 1980s. I think I've listened to more 80s songs in the last 2 weeks than I did for the entirety of the 1980s. And he's always surprised when I know one. Like, yes, I know them. Those were the songs of my youth. Why wouldn't I know these songs? So that always surprises him. His favorite is Dr. Feelgood. Today. Might change tomorrow. Thank you. I want to start off by saying thank you for the birthday wishes. I got some lovely cards and some messages, and it was nice. My birthday was the 13th, so Saturday. It started off with a sick kid, which is never fun in the middle of the night, but it got better. Of course, hopefully, thankfully, it got better. We didn't do much for that either. We never do. We're not big birthday, holiday celebrators around here for my son, but not for my husband and I. So we had a nice quiet day. We had a quiet Valentine's Day again. Yeah, just a Sunday. Yeah, that's that. I have a lot of stitching to show. This week I've had some extra time, like I said, because we're just kind of hanging out. And then I must have just had a lot of extra time last week too, because I have touched a lot of different things to share. So, oh, two other little things I just wanted to share just up front, a couple little gifts. Crystal from Tattletales and Pop-Tarts. This cute little Valentine needle minder, thank you. And then Carla from Cobweb Corner, I'll take this one out of its little package. She sent me a birthday needle minder. I'm not going to take it out of its package. It's a cat, and it's like copper. I'm looking on the back. Copper, brass, and nickel. And she sells these on her store, this Puffin and Company, but he's really cute. And this one has a mega magnet on the back, so that's not going anywhere. So thank you, ladies. And again, all the birthday wishes and everything, it was really sweet. All right, I did have some time to do a couple of fully finished pieces. Last Friday the 12th was our final ski lesson. So I took advantage. I had 3 things that I wanted to finish, and I did manage to get them all done while the boys were skiing. So the first one, this was, oh, I didn't bring the chart down. This was something, a whip from my last video, a work in progress. It was Hop On In from Hands On Design. It's one of her brand new charts. So I finished it as a flat with some cording. I did change some of the colors, and I think I used 14 count Echo is what that looks like to me. I used this checkered fabric on the back, and then I had this easel. It was an unfinished wood easel. So I painted it white. It has a little shelf thinger. Ooh, Ooh, I forgot to turn the heat off. I was gonna do that for you guys and I forgot and it just kicked on. So I can just sit it on there and when it's on the table it will stay. And then I made some extra cording and just tied it around the handle. I didn't need anything fancy. We're not fancy around here. I have no idea where this easel came from. I know I bought it at the salvage place down one town over and it was $2. But I don't know what store might sell those. My guess would be AC Moore because that's where he got a lot of his stuff from. And I know they're closed, so I would just keep an eye out at any craft store and like the unfinished wood products. I would pause you and go turn that heat off, but then I'd have to edit and I'm sharing the computer, so editing is not an issue. Not an issue. Editing is an issue today. So I got that one done. And then I was finishing a piece for my friend Penny that she had stitched, and it was snowy. This is the small from the Hands-On Design, I think it's called Snowy Jar. It's the Mason jar series with it's got little snowman heads in it. This is the small that's with that. So I finished that for her with some red herringbone and a button. I love this fabric. This is, it's from Tahoe Ski Week by Moda, and I had picked up a couple little fat quarters. And then Kathy, Hands-On Design, released her little First Frost chart that just came out, and they're shaped like snowmen, and this is the fabric she used. And as soon as she showed a little sneak peek, and I was like, I have that fabric. So I also just wanted to show you, I have stitched this, and this was my finish. And I always think it's cool if you have two of the same to show the difference. First of all, mine is way bigger than hers. I used a 14, she probably used a 32. I used kind of the same fabrics, but I did mine with 3 different pieces and then just one on the back. And I did a little piece of that has a name and I can't think of it, but I put it there. Seam tape? No. Twill tape and a snowflake. And then on Penny's I just did the herringbone. So that one is done for her. And then the other one I have is, I was playing around with, we have PC Stitch on the computer, and I was playing around with that and I came up with a little St. Patrick's Day chart. So I stitched it up and I finished it up. It looks like this. It's just got some words on it. I showed it to my sister and before I stitched it, and she was like, you might need a spell check on that because I had spelled leprechauns wrong. Spelling is not my thing. So I stitched this in one of the DMC variegateds, like 4045 maybe, and I used some Krynic for the O, and then I did a little flap of fabric with some Krynic herringbone, and I had this fabric in my stash and some trim. So if anyone else is interested in stitching this, now that it's been spell checked, I will put a link in the description box to a PDF that you can grab. This stitched up really quick. So that's just a little small. I did put some St. Patrick's Day stuff out today, and this will now go over there. I don't have very much, more than I do Valentine's. Valentine's, I had one thing. 2 if you'd counted the Hands-On Design year-end celebrations I did, but I kind of forgot to switch it. And then today I was looking at it and it was still January because it was with my snowman stuff, and the February one's a big heart, and now Valentine's Day is over. So it might get left down until March, which is then St. Patrick's. Those are my fully finished. I do have one finished object. You know what, I'm gonna run over and turn the heat off because it's going off forever and I can't pause. So, talk amongst yourselves. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, but it will just keep kicking on, and I know it's really loud. I have to turn the whole breaker off. I can't just turn it down. So then I have one finished object, one FO, and this is also a new start. I was on a Zoom Stitchy chat Friday night, and the ladies were like, oh, what are you working on? I said, well, I kind of told myself, try not to have any new starts in February and work on some of the things you already have going. So then naturally I pulled out a new start. So this is Shamrock Row by Bent Creek. And it's an alphabet with a couple of adorable leprechauns. You can't really tell from the picture. The alphabet is browns. It's like all browns. Karen's Handiwork on Instagram had done this last year, and she swapped it out to purples. And I like pinned it, and I was like, that's when I do that one, that's what I'm doing. So here it is. I don't have anything to put behind it, and it's long. And it's on white. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know I don't really tend to stitch on white because white Aida is so stiff. 3 different projects that I'm going to show you today are on white. So here it is. I guess this one's antique white. So there's the first half. It's long. There's the second half. So the whole thing. And what I did was I picked out 3 purples, light, medium, dark. 2 greens, medium dark, and like a bright yellowy gold. I will also list the colors I use down below in case anyone's interested. And then I just matched them up with the written for colors on the chart. So it came together really quick. It took like less than a week, and I had this done. I have all the other rows finished on a long board, so I may end up finishing it that way. But all of my St. Patrick's stuff is over here, and the board is on the other side of the room. So I was thinking I might, although that would be big, I was thinking maybe I would attempt a drum. I don't know. To be determined. Likely won't get finished in time for this St. Patrick's Day, but it's all stitched up. This chart was from 2010, I saw. And isn't it sad that sometimes you'll see something and be like, oh, 2010, that's pretty recent. And then you think, that's 11 years ago. It's not that recent. So that one is done. The rest of these are all whips, and I just have them in their bags. So we'll unzip and see what's in there. First up, covered in papers, the March section of Tiny Modernists Zodiac Sal was released. So I'll show you the whole thing. Now it was ironed last time I showed you. Now it's wrinkly again. So that's the whole thing. This is a fat quarter of 18 count, and as you can see, it fills the whole thing. Like 1.5 inches up top there. I don't have that much, but I'm gonna finish it myself, so I only have myself to blame. So that is Pisces, which is the March. And right next to it is Aquarius. So those 2 are out. So I have the whole border done. Now I just have to fill in each month, which will be, like that border was a pain to do the whole thing at once, but now I can just enjoy not having to do it and only having to do one at a time. So that got pulled out and done. Before I was working on that, I had been plugging away on Pretty Little Amsterdam by Satsuma Street, and I made really good progress, and then I tucked it away to work on that. And then I started the Shamrock, and then distractions, and I haven't, now it's just kind of put away. So that's the full chart, and I bet I'm over half. I bet I'm right around half. That's where I'm at. So I have the whole bottom. Up here is the windmill. And then there's actually, I'm more than half. So this one is on 14 count, picture this plus Ariel, I think it's Ariel, with all the called for colors, because you can't subset Soma Street colors. First of all, they're fantastic. Second of all, you'd never get them to look right. they're like perfect the way they are. So that one has gotten put up for now. Then I plugged away. Last video I think I showed you, although today I have the chart. My stitching group, we had been working on this piece from Our Lasting Friendship by Blackbird Designs, and we did it as a round robin. Kind of. I guess technically that's, I don't know, we swapped it. So everyone started, we did this inside border and the words. And then some people did like a motif to test their colors because people switched colors. And then we passed it around. So I have my sister Donna's right now, and this is the last one I have to work on besides my own. I have my own back. So I'm working on the bottom of hers. I did this tree and these dogs and these birds, and I'm doing this vase here, and then we'll see. I may do something up here. I'm hoping to see her next week, so we'll see where I'm at. And then there's a hole right there where I'll put my initials. She did hers on Mummy Wraps by Ship's Manor. And then it's a mix of flosses, Color and Cotton, Victorian Motto. I think it's mostly those two. So that one is still on the Q-snap because I'm still going. Then on my birthday, the 13th, they released the first part of Stitching Book Club's Sense and Sensibility Stitch Along. Which, as I've said, I'm not a Jane Austen fan. I won't be reading the book, but the Stitch Along is beautiful. I didn't have a birthday start because I was working on the Shamrock Row and I was enjoying it, so I just kept going. I think I started this Monday. I think. Today's Wednesday. I just finished it this morning. So that is part one. This is a white 25 count Lugana. There's a version with colors that you can stitch on a blue, where the blue flowers are white, and then this version where the white flowers are blue. I went with this one. I wanted to try this fabric. I really loved the colors, and I didn't want to stitch that much white. White doesn't always look great, and I thought if it's the center flower of my piece, I want it to look good. So I went with the blue, and it's gorgeous. I don't really know what's next. There's some more stuff down here and some more stuff up here. And this one, she has said, will not have like the name of the book. It won't have any reference to the book. If it did, honestly, I probably wouldn't have done it. If it's just flowers, it's going to be perfect for spring. So that one is done for now. And then the other piece I've been working on, Cardinal Points, finally called back out to me. I started this Leap Day of last year for the Long Dog Leap Day sale with Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher, and a bunch of other stitchers. I worked on it pretty good. I looked back on Instagram. The last time I had posted on this was March 20th, which was 1 week after everything shut down, including my brain. So it didn't come out at all. But it had been calling to me. After my last video, someone commented and asked a question. They said they had just bought the chart and they remembered that I had swapped a couple colors, or it might have been on my Whip Parade. And they wanted to what colors did you swap? So when I pulled it out to look for it for them, then it started to call to me. I thought, I need to pull that back out. So I did. So here's where I'm at. So I have Sorry, it's all, I have like this corner, these motifs, and down the side. This is kind of page 1. I had that done. So I had this bird, like right at the line of that bird feet. So all of this is what I've been working on this week. This is on an 18 count antique white Aida. It said to use 1 strand, but I'm a coverage girl, so I used 2. So what did I switch for colors? I'm using black instead of raven because it just used so much. I just went with the black. I swapped out, should have written it down. I know I'm using ribbon red from Classic Colorworks instead of Buckeye Scarlet because my Buckeye Scarlet looked too much like the other red that's in it. I'm sorry, I should have been more organized for you. No, the other red that's in it is cherry wine. I think my Buckeye Scarlet was just really variegated, and that's the color of your cardinals and stuff, and I wanted something different. And then one of my yellows, Sunflower, looked just like the other yellow, which was Gold Leaf. Like that's Gold Leaf, and Sunflower looked just like it. So I pulled in this one, which is Weeks Dye Works Curry Milk Squash, to use with that. Because a lot of the leaves, the 2 colors are right next to each other, so you're really gonna notice if they look the same. So this one is out. Last night I watched All Creatures Great and Small and I worked on this grape. And I did it this way because I've been stitching it upside down. When stuff's on this side, you know, I'm right-handed, so it's just easier for me to have it closer. So I just hold this upside down and I hold my chart upside down. And that's how I've been doing it. So I'm gonna keep this one out for a while as long as it's still calling to me. I'd love to get down to the bottom. I did that blue leaf, so it's not too much. Like I'd love to get down to the bottom. Maybe not this big vase, but the grapes, and there's like a couple flowers underneath before that one gets put away again. That's my whips. That's what I've been working on. I don't have any plans. Plans are to just keep stitching away. I'll probably keep on Cardinal Points. I gotta finish Donna's Friendship Sal. I should do that, like I said, this week because we're hoping to get together next week and hopefully go to the new Michael's, which is now open. I don't have anything else starting. I probably will need to pull out another small or smaller piece because sometimes Cardinal Points is hard at certain times of day. And I like to have something smaller that's not as much concentration. Like if we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, I just whipped this up. I don't have to focus as much. So that's plans. Giveaways and then a little bit of haul and we'll be done. So I had 2 giveaways on my last video. I didn't bring them down. One of them is already in an envelope ready to go in the mail. I pulled those yesterday thinking I'd get this video in. So Winterbird went to Rhonda Mason and the Ladybug went to Linda Lemon. And Linda, like I said, yours, you got right back to me, is ready to go. Rhonda, I commented on your comment. You may have emailed me back. I'm sharing a computer right now, so it hasn't been my turn to use it today, but I will check. And then when I hear from you, I'll get that out in the mail. So I have 2 new giveaways. These are both sent to us from Carla at Cobweb Corner. Get things organized. The first one is Hello Spring from Hands On Design, A Year in Chalk. I have this and I still haven't done it. Every spring I pull this out. I mean, maybe this should be what I do because it's small. Like it's 45 by 70. It would not take that long. Yet it is still not done. So, Hello Spring. To be entered in the giveaway, please be over 18 so you can legally give me your address, be a subscriber, and don't say giveaway. standard stuff. For this one, say I would like to stitch spring or just the word spring. And then the second one is Colorful Cats Sunflower. These are by Kitty and Me Designs, and she has a whole series of them. Carla did a stitch along with these last year, and it was cool to see quite a few of the different ones done. This one is brand new. She just released like 5 or 6 brand new ones, and this was one of them. Carla has them all. There's a Mardi Gras and this one and a St. Patrick's Day. Like, they're really cool. They do have a button. That looks like it's a button down here. Yeah, there's a Mill Hill button. There's a number on the back. They do have a little bit of Krynic. This one calls for 2 different Krynics, but the rest is all DMC. So this one, I would like to stitch the cat. So thank you, Carla. And Carla sent a couple charts for me. Let's talk winter. I've already done the big piece on this when she had it in a magazine, in the calendar several years ago. I really love that little one though. So for next winter. And then this one is Prairie Schooler Oh Christmas Tree. This is the cardstock. She still has some cardstock. I have a vision in my head that when I get my reindeer done, of which I've stitched one, I think I'd like to display them on top of the piano, which will drive my husband crazy because he hates it when I put things on top of the piano. On top of the piano. And then behind them, I'd like to put some cross-stitched trees. One of Hello from Liz Matthews trees. Barbara Anna did a stitch along that's like a tiered cake, but then on Instagram is an ice stitcher. She finished it as a tree and it's perfect. A couple people now have finished it as trees. And then maybe a couple of these. And specifically, these are the 3 I like. The 2 houses and the little skier. And now the sledder. He's not on the front, so you don't really know that he's in this chart, but he is. So I need to get working on that. And then I did an order. I was looking for something else for St. Patrick's Day. And I found Starlight Stitchery in Oregon. And they had Leggy Leprechaun, which is an older Heart and Hand. Also 2010. So just last week. And he's so cute. This was $2. She has a bunch of charts that are really, really marked down. So if you're interested in some older Heart and Hand, older Bent Creek, you know, all my faves, she had some really cute stuff. I also got this one, which is Bent Creek's The Greenhouse. And so there's the bottom. So this is kind of the border in that chart. And then these are the other 2 that kind of fill in. So I've had my eye on this one for a while and she had it, the whole set. Really cheap. Now I have it to stitch at some point. So that is that. That is haul. One more thing before I go. I know we've all been hearing a lot about Needlework Expo, which is, they canceled Market this year. They had pushed it to March, Nashville Needlework Market, and then they ended up canceling because of COVID. So there's another event going on first weekend in March, I believe, 6th, 7th, and 8th, Needlework Expo. It's not put on by the same people, but it is a virtual needlework market. And it's kind of what we have, right? This year, that's Market. So a lot of the designers are starting to show what designs they have coming out. Needlework Expo has a great Instagram feed. They're showing little sneak peeks and full reveals if you're interested in what's coming out. It's a wholesale market, so only stores can buy things. So I know that both Carla at Cobweb Corner and Penny at the Daily Stitcher are registered. So if you see things and you don't have a go-to store, get in touch with one of them. They would be happy to help because they'll both be buying product and the new charts. I've been keeping an eye out on some things, and there's some really cute stuff. There's always cute stuff in March. So there's some cute things. I think that's it. I'll go see what 80s music is playing upstairs and go from there. All right, you guys, I will hopefully see you again in a couple weeks. I hope everyone stays safe and healthy, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.